Wizards is the last installment of Troll Hunters I have to talk about before Rise of the Titans, and I watched it. And this show is a 10 episode season. I will state with Three Below, you could have not seen Troll Hunters to watch that show, but it would definitely benefit if you had, but you didn't need to. With this show, you absolutely do. This show makes absolutely no sense. You're not introduced to any of these characters. You're thrown into a situation, and even as a fan of Troll Hunters, it kind of didn't make a lot of sense for quite a while through the show, and it was very confusing. So, now Troll Hunters and this Tales of Arcadia series always had a terrible pacing issue, and this show is definitely that has that, but I was the most engaged with the show, and I think a lot of that has to do, there is not a lot of dead space in the show. There's a lot of really fast pacing, but that could also be to a detriment because a lot of things get glossed over, not fully explained. Characters are just introduced. You're just thrown into scenarios. There isn't much introduction to them, and that's a huge issue. But still, it is a great show. I think this is better than Troll Hunters because it has a better story. It uses the characters more effectively, and you see what Troll Hunters was setting up and kind of building to. But also, there's some strange directions towards the end with certain characters, and I won't spoil. But yeah, that's a big issue. But I really like the amount of depth that they add to the Troll Hunters world. Because, in season 3 of Troll Hunters, spoilers, they introduce Merlin. And you think, oh, I guess he's just here now. And then they expand upon that. They introduce King Arthur and all these different elements that make this really, really, really fascinating, great, grand show that no longer feels like just the simple Troll Hunter story that you were watching. Now it feels so much grander and better. You see, and it's also there's time travel within the show, which is interesting. Certain characters that you watch and they're one note villains, and then now they have a lot more depth, and then you understand their motivations. Certain other characters, so much grander things, and it's a great, great, great series. And I think people should definitely not be sleeping on Troll Hunters after this series.